Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Question is, which solution enables you to create security policies that include user and group information? Option A, JIMS. Option B, ATP appliance. Option C, network director. Option D, netconf. Correct answer is option A. Next question is, which two devices would you use for DDoS protection with Policy Enforcer? Choose two options. Option A, VQFX. Option B, MX. Option C, VMX. Option D, QFX. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, what are two benefits of using a VSRX in a software-defined network? Choose two options. Option A, scalability. Option B, no required software license. Option C, granular security. Option D, infinite number of interfaces. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, which two statements about SRX series device chassis clusters are true? Choose two options. Option A, redundancy group 0 is only active on the cluster backup node. Option B, each chassis cluster member requires a unique cluster ID value. Option C, each chassis cluster member device can host active redundancy groups. Option D, chassis cluster member device must be the same model. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, which two statements are correct about the CSRX? Choose two options. Option A, the CSRX supports firewall, NAT, IPS and UTM services. Option B, the CSRX only supports Layer 2 bump-in-the-wire deployments. Option C, the CSRX supports BGP, OSPF and ISIS routing services. Option D, the CSRX has three default zones: trust, untrust and management. Correct answer is option A and option D. Next question is, what are two types of system logs that Junos generates? Choose two options. Option A, SQL log files. Option B, data plane logs. Option C, system core dump files. Option D, control plane logs. Correct answer is option B and option D. Next question is, you want to set up JSA to collect network traffic flows from network devices on your network. Which two statements are correct when performing this task? Choose two options. Option A, BGP flow spec is used to collect traffic flows from Junos OS devices. Option B, statistical Sampling increases processor utilization. Option C. Statistical sampling decreases event correlation accuracy. Option D. Superflows reduce traffic licensing requirements. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, what information does encrypted traffic insights (ETI) use to notify SRX series devices about known malware sites? Option A. Certificates. Option B. Dynamic address groups. Option C. MAC addresses. Option D. Domain names. Correct answer is option D. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. Question is, which two types of SSL proxy are available on SRX series devices? Choose two options. Option A. Wave proxy. Option B. Client protection. Option C. Server protection. Option D. DNS proxy. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is regarding static attack object groups. Which two statements are true? Choose two options. Option A. Matching attack objects are automatically added to a custom group. Option B. Group membership automatically changes when Juniper updates the IPS signature database. Option C. Group membership does not automatically change when Juniper updates the IPS signature database. Option D. You must manually add matching attack objects to a custom group. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, you are deploying a new SRX series device and you need to log denied traffic. In this scenario, which two policy parameters are required to accomplish this task? Choose two options. Option A. Session unit. Option B. Session close. Option C. Deny. Option D. Count. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, you are asked to reduce the load that the JIMS server places on your. Which action should you take in this situation? Option A. Connect JIMS to the Radius server. Option B. Connect JIMS to the Domain Exchange server. Option C. Connect JIMS to the Domain SQL server. Option D. Connect JIMS to another SRX series device. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, which two statements about unified security policies are correct? Choose two options. Option A. Unified security policies require an advanced feature license. Option B. Unified security policies are evaluated after global security policies. Option C. Traffic can initially match multiple unified security policies. Option D. APPID results are used to determine the final security policy. Correct answer is option C and option D. Next question is, you have deployed an SRX 300 series device and determined that files have stopped being scanned. In this scenario, what is the reason for this problem? Option A. The software license is a free model and only scans executable type files. Option B. The infected host communicated with a command and control server, but it did not download malware. Option C. The file is too small to have a virus. Option D. You have exceeded the maximum file submission for your SRX platform size. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, which three statements about SRX series device chassis clusters are true? Choose three options. Option A. Chassis clusters control links must be configured using RFC 1918 IP addresses. Option B. Chassis cluster member devices synchronize configuration using the control link. Option C. A control link failure causes the secondary cluster node to be disabled. Option D. Recovery from a control link failure requires that the secondary member device be rebooted. Option E. Heartbeat messages verify that the chassis cluster control link is working. Correct answer is option B, C and option E. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Question is, which two statements are correct about security policy changes when using the policy rematch feature? Choose two options. Option A. When a policy change includes changing the policy's action from permit to deny, all existing sessions are maintained. Option B. When a policy change includes changing the policy's source or destination address match condition, all existing sessions are dropped. Option C. When a policy change includes changing the policy's action from permit to deny, all existing sessions are dropped. Option D. When a policy change includes changing the policy's source or destination address match condition, all existing sessions are re-evaluated. Correct answer is option C and option D. Next question is, you are asked to block malicious applications regardless of the port number being used. In this scenario, which two application security features should be used? Choose two options. Option A. App FW. Option B. App QoE. Option C. APP App ID. Option D. App Track. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, a client has attempted communication with a known command and control server and it has reached the configured threat level threshold. Which feed will the client IP address be automatically added to in this situation? Option A. The command and control cloud feed. Option B. The allow list and block list feed. Option C. The custom cloud feed. Option D. The infected host cloud feed. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, when a security policy is deleted, which statement is correct about the default behavior of active sessions allowed by that policy? Option A. The active sessions allowed by the policy will be dropped. Option B. The active sessions allowed by the policy will be marked as a legacy flow and will continue to be forwarded. Option C. The active sessions allowed by the policy will be re-evaluated by the cached. Option D. The active sessions allowed by the policy will continue. Correct answer is option A. Next question is, you are asked to determine how much traffic a popular gaming application is generating on your network. Which action will you perform to accomplish this task? Option A. Enable App QoS on the proper security zones. Option B. Enable APBR on the proper security zones. Option C. Enable screen options on the proper security zones. Option D. Enable app track on the proper security zones. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, how does the SSL proxy detect if encryption is being used? Option A. It uses application identity services. Option B. It verifies the length of the packet. Option C. It queries the client device. Option D. It looks at the destination port number. Correct answer is option D. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. Question is, which two statements are correct when considering IPS rule-based evaluation? Choose two options. Option A. IPS evaluates rules concurrently. Option B. IPS applies the most severe action to traffic matching multiple rules. Option C. IPS evaluates rules sequentially. Option D. IPS applies the least severe action to traffic matching multiple rules. Correct answer is option A and option B. Next question is, you have implemented a VSRX in your VMware environment. You want to implement a second VSRX series device and enable JNCIS clustering. Which two statements are correct in this scenario about the control link settings? Choose two options. Option A. In the vSwitch security settings, accept Prometheus mode. Option B. In the vSwitch properties settings, set the VLAN ID to none. Option C. In the vSwitch security settings, reject forced transmits. Option D. In the vSwitch security settings, reject MAC address changes. Correct answer is option C and option D. Next question is, which two statements are true about the VSRX? Choose two options. Option A. It does not have VMXNet3 VNIC support. Option B. It has VMXNet3 VNIC support. Option C. Unix is the base OS. Option D. Linux is the base OS. Correct answer is option B and option D. Next question is, you want to manually failover the primary routing engine in an SRX series high availability cluster pair. Which step is necessary to accomplish this task? Option A. Issue the set chassis cluster disable reboot command on the primary node. Option B. Implement the control link recover solution before adjusting the priorities. Option C. Manually request the failover and identify the secondary node. Option D. Adjust the priority in the configuration on the secondary node. Correct answer is option A. Next question is, you want to permit access to an application but sub block application sub. Which two security policy features provide this capability? Choose two options. Option A. URL filtering. Option B. Micro application detection. Option C. Content filtering. Option D. App ID. Correct answer is option A and option B. Next question is, which statement regarding Juniper Identity Management Service JIMS domain PC probes is true? Option A. JIMS domain PC probes analyze domain controller security event logs at 60 minutes intervals by default. Option B. JIMS domain PC probes are triggered if no username to IP address mapping is found in the domain security event log. Option C. JIMS domain PC probes are triggered to map usernames to group membership information. Option D. JIMS domain PC probes are initiated by an SRX series device to verify authentication table information. Correct answer is option B. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Question is, your manager asks you to provide firewall and NAT services in a private cloud. Which two solutions will fulfill the minimum requirements for this deployment? Choose two options. Option A. A single VSRX. Option B. A VSRX for firewall services and a separate VSRX for NAT services. Option C. A CSRX for firewall services and a separate CSRX for NAT services. Option D. A single CSRX. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, which two statements are true about mixing traditional and unified security policies? Choose two options. Option A. When a packet matches a unified security policy, the evaluation process terminates. Option B. Traditional security policies must come before unified security policies. Option C. Unified security policies must come before traditional security policies. Option D. When a packet matches a traditional security policy, the evaluation process terminates. Correct answer is option A and option D. Next question is, which two features are configurable on Juniper Secure Analytics JSA to ensure that alerts are triggered when matching certain criteria? Choose two options. Option A. Building blocks. Option B. Assets. Option C. Events. Option D. Tests. Correct answer is option C and option D. Next question is, you are asked to implement IPS on your SRX series device. In this scenario, which two tasks must be completed before a configuration will work? Choose two options. Option A. Download the IPS signature database. Option B. Enroll the SRX series device with Juniper ATP Cloud. Option C. Install the IPS signature database. Option D. Reboot the SRX series device. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, which two statements are correct about Juniper ATP Cloud? Choose two options. Option A. Once the target threshold is met, Juniper ATP Cloud continues looking for threads from 0 to 5 minutes. Option B. Once the target threshold is met, Juniper ATP Cloud continues looking for threat levels range from 0 to 10 minutes. Option C. The threat level range from 0 to 10. Option D. The threat level range from 0 to 100. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, your network uses a single JSA host and you want to implement a cluster. In this scenario, which two statements are correct? Choose two options. Option A. The software versions on both primary and secondary hosts. Option B. The secondary host can back up multiple JSA primary hosts. Option C. The primary and secondary hosts must be configured with the same storage devices. Option D. The cluster virtual IP will need an unused IP address assigned. Correct answer is option A and option D. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. Question is, you enable JNCIS clustering on two devices and assign a cluster ID and a node ID to each device. In this scenario, what is the correct order for rebooting the devices? Option A. Reboot the secondary device, then the primary device. Option B. Reboot only the secondary device since the primary will assign itself the correct cluster and node ID. Option C. Reboot the primary device, then the secondary device. Option D. Reboot only the primary device since the secondary will assign itself the correct cluster and node ID. Correct answer is option C. Next question is, which two statements about SRX chassis clustering are correct? Choose two options. Option A. SRX chassis clustering supports active passive and active active for the data plane. Option B. SRX chassis clustering only supports active passive for the data plane. Option C. SRX chassis clustering supports active passive for the control plane. Option D. SRX chassis clustering supports active active for the control plane. Correct answer is option A and option D. Next question is, you want to deploy a virtualized SRX in your environment. In this scenario, why would you use a VSRX instead of a CSRX? Choose two options. Option A. The VSRX supports Layer 2 and Layer 3 configurations. Option B. Only the VSRX provides clustering. Option C. The VSRX has faster boot times. Option D. Only the VSRX provides NAT, IPS, and UTM services. Correct answer is option A and option C. Next question is, which method does the IoT security feature use to identify traffic sourced from IoT devices? Option A. The SRX series device streams metadata from the IoT device transit traffic to Juniper ATP Cloud. Juniper ATP Cloud. Option B. The SRX series device streams transit traffic received from the IoT device to Juniper ATP Cloud. Option C. The SRX series device identifies IoT devices using their MAC address. Option D. The SRX series device identifies IoT devices from metadata extracted from their transit traffic. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, which two statements are true about the fab interface in a JNCIS cluster? Choose two options. Option A. The fab link does not support fragmentation. Option B. The physical interface for the fab link must be specified in the configuration. Option C. The fab link supports traditional interface features. Option D. The Junos OS supports only one fab link. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, after JSA receives external events and flows, which two steps occur? Choose two options. Option A. After formatting the data is stored in an asset database. Option B. Before formatting the data is analyzed for relevant information. Option C. Before the information is filtered, the information is formatted. Option D. After the information is filtered, JSA responds with active measures. Correct answer is option B and option C. Today we are covering Juniper JN0-335 Security Specialist. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Question is, which two statements are correct about SSL proxy server protection? Choose two options. Option A. You do not need to configure the servers to use the SSL proxy, the function on the SRX series device. Option B. You must load the server certificates on the SRX series device. Option C. The servers must be configured to use the SSL proxy function on the SRX series device. Option D. You must import the root CA on the servers. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, which two statements are correct about JNCIS clustering? Choose two options. Option A. The node ID value ranges from 1 to 255. Option B. The node ID is used to identify each device in the JNCIS cluster. Option C. A system reboot is required to activate changes to the cluster. Option D. The cluster ID is used to identify each device in the JNCIS cluster. Correct answer is option A and option B. Next question is, you want to use IPS signatures to monitor traffic. Which module in the App Secure suite will help in this task? Option A. App Track. Option B. App QoS. Option C. App FW. Option D. App ID. Correct answer is option C. Next question is, which two statements are correct about JSA data collection? Choose two options. Option A. The event collector collects information using BGP flow spec. Option B. The flow collector can use statistical sampling. Option C. The flow collector parses logs. Option D. The event collector parses logs. Correct answer is option B and option D. Next question is, you are asked to find systems running applications that increases the risk on your network. You must ensure these systems are processed through IPS and Juniper ATP cloud for malware and virus protection. Which Juniper Networks solution will accomplish this task? Option A. JIMS. Option B. Encrypted Traffic Insights. Option C. UTM. Option D. Adaptive Threat Profiling. Correct answer is option D. Next question is, you are configuring logging for a security policy. In this scenario, in which two situations would log entries be generated? Choose two options. Option A. Every 10 minutes. Option B. At session initialization. Option C. Every 60 seconds. Option D. At session close. Correct answer is option B and option D. Next question is, which two statements are true about Juniper ATP Cloud? Choose two options. Option A. Dynamic analysis is always performed to determine if a file contains malware. Option B. If the cache lookup determines that a file contains malware, perform to verify the results. Option C. Dynamic analysis is not always necessary to determine if a file contains malware. Option D. If the cache lookup determines that a file contains malware, static analysis is not performed to verify the results. Correct answer is option C and option D. Next question is, which statement about security policy schedulers is correct? Option A. Multiple policies can use the same scheduler. Option B. A policy can have multiple schedulers. Option C. When the scheduler is disabled, the policy will still be available. Option D. A policy without a defined scheduler will not become active. Correct answer is option A. Next question is, you are asked to create an IPS exempt rule based to eliminate false positives from happening. Which two configuration parameters are available to exclude traffic from being examined? Choose two options. Option A. Source port. Option B. Source IP address. Option C. Destination IP address. Option D. Destination port. Correct answer is option B. Next question is, what are three capabilities of App QoS? Choose three options. Option A. Rewrite DHCP values. Option B. Assign a forwarding class. Option C. Rewrite the TTL. Option D. Rate limit traffic. Option E. Reserve bandwidth. Correct answer is option A, B and option E. Next question is, which two sources are used by Juniper Identity Management Service JIMS for collecting username and device IP addresses? Choose two options. Option A. Microsoft Exchange Server Event Logs. Option B. DNS. Option C. Active Directory Domain Controller Event Logs. Option D. Open LDAP Service Ports. Correct answer is option B and option C. Next question is, you are experiencing excessive packet loss on one of your two WAN links route traffic from the degraded link to the working link. Which app secure component would you use to accomplish this task? Option A, App FW. Option B, App QoE. Option C, App QoS. Option D, APBR. Correct answer is option D,